So what we're going to be doing today is Joe's going to be spending about an hour and going through some of the research and going through some of the case studies that have come through his Integrative Medical Healing Center in Peru. Joe, obviously we're calling him Dr. Joe, he is a medical doctor. So he's bringing sort of a level of science and medical understanding to a sort of very mercurial kind of practice. You know, shamanism is kind of a big buzzword these days, and it seems like everybody knows a shaman. And you know, the likelihood of that being authentically true is questionable. Whereas, you know, down in these indigenous places and where Joe is working, and there are people that really have been spending, you know, decades of their lives in traditions of this practice, and Joe's been working with some very skilled people for many years in these practices. So we're going to be talking a bit about integrative medicine and what the center's been doing and what the purposes of it are, and sort of Joe's kind of big vision picture of what's going to happen here in the future. And then we're going to have a little question and answer, and everybody's going to kind of interact, and Joe will be taking over entirely. Welcome to Mystic Water Kava Bar. This is a unique place. If you've never been here, I'm sure you're noticing its uniqueness. The Kava Bar does really involve itself in community type things like this, where we're doing lectures and meditation and yoga and qigong and these sorts of things without alcohol. You notice we serve kava at the bar. I'd encourage you all to try some kava. Our initial plan was to actually have everybody do a shell of kava together, but I don't think we have enough shells for everybody to do that at once. So highly encourage you to try some kava if you've never tried it. It's sort of a Fijian ceremonial drink, herbal drink, that in some cases is used ceremoniously, almost mind-alteringly. It's got an interesting properties to it. So, but it typically just is very relaxing, it's very calming. It's a really good way to kind of share community with each other. So I'd encourage you to visit Paige and have a shell with us afterwards to say Bula, as we say, to the heavens, to the earth, and to your highest selves, and thanking Joe for being here and doing this talk. This talk is a free talk, so everybody, you know, you can come and go and just say thank you for it. And but Joe has come a long distance to be here, and has invested a massive amount of time and resources and energy into doing the work that he does, which is really not a labor of economic fruit. It's really a labor of love that he has to kind of go back and practice medicine so that he can go spend 6 more months in Peru. And so what we're asking is, if you feel generous today, there's no suggested donation, but we're going to have a bowl out. And if you do feel like you have a few extra bucks in your pocket to offer for the event and for everything that went into this event, then we would thank you greatly for that. And if not, then we're also very happy to have you here as well. Very honored to have a nice full house for this event. So without further ado, I'm going to shut up and introduce Dr. Joe Tafur, and he's going to go through his thing, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you all very much. Dr. Joe?
Very much, everybody, for having me here, and thank you to the Kava Bar and to Jared and to everybody that came, and all my friends in San Diego that are supporting me, and all these mentors and spiritual people in my life. So this is the talk. Jared gave you a big overview. I don't know if I'm going to do everything Jared said, but you know, there's a lot of good ideas in there. I want to talk about what we're doing down there in Peru. I want to let people know about our center in Peru, and let people know, you know, that they can come down and what's going on and the whole scene surrounding Amazonian medicine and, you know, and ayahuasca tourism. A lot of people are curious about. And I also want to touch on some things as a doctor. You know, we're trying to work with shamans as a doctor. It's kind of a new thing. A few people are doing it, and try to touch on how do we bridge these worlds. You know, how can we talk about things that shamanic things with the Western world, et cetera, and you know, I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Is like maybe through a couple cases. So I just want to go. I don't know how long. You know, we'll stop it at some point and switch to questions and have kava and all that. So I'll just try to feel it out. Hopefully, try to make it fun. And get through it. So I guess Jared, next slide. Jared's going to handle my slides.
Yeah, fingers.
Jared's crucial to the project today, from beginning to end. So this is just my background. I went to UCSD medical school. I lived here in San Diego for a few years. Went to medical school, then did family medicine at UCLA. Did postdoctoral research. Returned to San Diego. Dr. Paul Mills is here, gracing us with his presence. In the Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Medicine, and got exposed to psychoneuroimmunology and was doing some light research. And Dr. Daly's here, my other medical school mentor, is here. So it's really nice to be back in San Diego and with people that kind of help me do things that I'm doing. And you know, I guess I was like, what was I doing? I was kind of an integrative medicine activist, trying to be part of all the different things that were going on, whether it was the Center for Integrative Medicine or High Med at UCSD. There might be some High Med people here, or Alternative Healing Network, Brian Altman might be here. A lot of big projects, cool stuff that I wanted to be a part of. Chinese medicine was the opportunity to be connected to integrative medicine for me in a lot of ways here. And then energy healing and some other opportunities. Then I work as a doctor. I'm a family medicine doctor. I do primary care work. I did urgent care work. I used to work here for Kaiser a little bit. Now I work in Phoenix. So I'm seeing patients as a normal doctor regularly. And started going to the Amazon in 2007. My family's from Colombia, South America, and I wanted to follow up on some interests I had in Amazonian shamanism. So I went down there, and now, you know, my whole life is changing rapidly, and like I said, I'm working through an apprenticeship, my latest, you know, from fellowship to residency to this. Now I'm apprenticing with Shipibo shamans. And so, next slide. So this is something cool. These are my Shipibo colleagues. Somebody made this. Let's see if the sound comes through. So I'm really pleased because it's like our fans. I'm putting this together.
Oh, we are sound. So we didn't plug in the. Hold on.
Okay, well it'll come back on. So these are there's two main shamans we have at Niuerao right now. There were three, and we have an extra that comes through once in a while. These are like journeyman shamans. You know, a lot of these people are just passing through. We have Ricardo Maringo is the main shaman of our center. He is the master healer that is in charge of treatment at our center. And as a doctor, I'm a medical consultant there. And all of our treatment is traditional Shipibo medicine. And Ricardo is the head. So I'm working with him, apprenticing with him. And then Julian Vasquez was going to come up here as his right-hand man. He's the other shaman that runs ceremony. And Julian's mom, who is a master in the Shipibo, a legend in the Shipibo community, used to work with us. She's finally retired, you know, but she helped us launch our center. So I'm going to touch on some of one of the cases I'm talking about is an Olivia case, and she just exemplifies this history. So here they are. Let's see if the sound comes through. Nothing. It's worth it.
Sorry guys, we're going in the dark here.
Oh, that's true. Is it up all the way? So some people made this for us. So people come down to see Ricardo, you know, they come to be sung to in the ceremony. That's Olivia. That's her voice chiming in. Sorry about that, guys.
We're going to start over.
We're going to start one more time. Jared is doing Next slide. So this is our center. This is my house in Peru. It's paid for, I like to tell people. We are a traditional healing center. We were founded last year in February. So this past year has been a very busy year trying to build the center up in the middle of the Amazon with all the craziness and the shaman drama, as they call it. It's traditional Shipibo shamanic medicine. We offer healing work, you know, for the people that come. We call them the pasajeros, is how they refer in the ayahuasca tourism business. The pasajeros mean the passengers, you know, that come for the ride to come and be with us. And so we offer healing work for all the people who want to come and receive treatment. We're receiving people from all over the world right now, from Europe, from the United States, from Australia primarily. And there's also education. You know, there's training, so people are training under Ricardo at our center to become shamans, and there's a number of people who have completed training and are now practicing. So we offer plant medicine, and so I'm going to break down some of this as we go. But traditional Shipibo diets, you know, with master plants and healing plants. So the treatment is alongside the diet, and so there is treatment that way with those master plants and healing plants that you're going to be taking. We do offer to some of the people, depending on the case. You know, there's poultices that people are treated with, or steam, you know, vapor treatments, or soaks, or other things that we do. And then we also offer healing ayahuasca ceremony, you know, which is what a lot of the hype is about. And it's actually that, you know, that is one of the areas of expertise of our center. Ricardo and Olivia and Julian are ayahuasqueros, you know, that's what people want to come and receive the treatment. Their training as Shipibos is to...
Can you speak up a little bit?
Yeah, sure, I'm sorry, yeah, I don't mean to talk too quietly, I can speak louder. All right, so let's go to the next slide. So what's going on right now is kind of an interesting phenomenon in the Amazon, this ayahuasca tourism, you know, because of ayahuasca and the hallucinogenic thing. How many people here are familiar with ayahuasca, have heard of it, or how many people have done ayahuasca here? There's a few people, so you know, it's out there, and some of them maybe are more experienced than I am, but there's a scene going on, and you know, the ayahuasca is driving it, but the fact is that it's traditional Amazonian plant medicine. So there are many people who are coming down to be treated. There are people who are coming to explore, and now there are thousands of people. And so it's a new scene, and it's a new opportunity for the traditional people to have an opportunity. And so, you know, you may think that it's like a bunch of drug culture people coming to drink ayahuasca and all that kind of stuff, but that's not what we're getting, you know. We're getting people who are coming, you know, my mom, for example, is somebody who's like, why ayahuasca, Joe? You know, who wants to drink that? Nobody wants to drink ayahuasca. And well, nobody does, you know, mostly, but the people that do want to come and receive treatment at our center where you don't have to drink ayahuasca at all are people who are coming because they have not found relief, you know, for whatever problem they have. I don't mean to turn my back to you guys. Are you guys okay? And so they're seeking help. You know, most of what we see, you know, for shamanic treatment and plant medicine treatment does extend into the worlds of medical illness. A lot of people are curious to hear about cancer and all the rest of it, but our experience thus far is primarily with psychological issues, you know, psychiatric issues, psychosomatic issues, and, you know, spiritual illness, you know, you might call it in the traditional mindset. So let's continue. So this is Iquitos. You know, this is where our center is, and this is where a lot of people are coming now. If you want to go to the Amazon, my family's from Colombia. The Colombian Amazon is still too tricky, you know, to attract a lot of tourists. Brazil, people do go to Brazil, and there's Ecuador and other ways to access. But, you know, one of the hotspots is Iquitos, because Peru is a very touristy place with Machu Picchu. So you fly into Lima, and then you have to go all the way over the mountains and go to Iquitos. The Shipibos are from Pucallpa, and they're from this this is Ucayali River right here. Comes up, this is the Amazon here in Iquitos, going outward towards Brazil. But they come to Iquitos because that's where the tourists are. You know, that's where people can access, and there's nice hotels and all the rest of it. And so people can meet the shamans. There are shamans who aren't Shipibos.
Mateo que trae tamite makaya ka akana azoga